It is 4 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. A pleasant good evening to you. You're on live with Real Talk with Lavi at WINNFM 98.9. And this evening, trust me, I have more than I can chew tonight. This evening, folks, I don't even know where to start. Because, last week we were supposed to have Mr. Burgle, that is Darren Burgle Stevens, down there in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. And so much things has happened. And our previous guest for this week would have been Mr. Evelyn, and he is for the Contractors Association, and he just popped up tonight. So I just got to let you guys know that Real Talk, well, people showing up, like Mr. Evelyn. This is just so fantastic. Permit me to allow, to take the time out to say a pleasant good evening to each and every one of you out there. Something just popped up on me tonight, kind of threw me off, so I apologize for that. But it's all good, Very good. Are you hearing me, Jamster? Yes, it's all good. And tonight, our special guest, well, I must say two of them because, we have double impact right here on the Real Talk. And we have Mr. Burgle. He's already on Zoom. And, he's already on Zoom. I think something is happening with I'm not hearing myself. Yes. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. When I'm not the engineer, things happen, right? Okay. So I just had a moment where we had to switch headpiece and everything because I wasn't really hearing myself. So tonight we have on Zoom, he's already there waiting. I'm not going to even go and, go around the bush because we have limited time tonight. And we have the man himself, he's on Zoom. And we have Mr. Evelyn, like I said. Good evening to you, Mr. Evelyn.
Good night, good night.
I think you might want to go a little closer.
Good night, Lavi.
Yes. Burgle, are you there? Hi, Burgle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, so we finally made it here tonight, right?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are here.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard when I was making my intro. Everything happened so, last minute because, I was here trying to make sure everything goes well with you. And, the time come upon me. So, and then there goes Mr. Evelyn. So as I was saying, last week, you and I were supposed to be on live, and so much has happened. And this evening was supposed to be me and Mr. Evelyn. And but nevertheless, it's not going to stop anything. So I want to just go right and get into your Burgle. The folks down here in St. Kitts and Nevis, a lot of people has been calling me and, really looking forward to see you. And I'm just so pleased to have you to be on the other end. There's a number of persons on Facebook, YouTube. I got to tell you guys good night. So, Burgle, the first question I want to ask you, tell the people who is Burgle.
Greetings and good night to everybody. This is Darren Stevens. I go by the name of MC Bogle, the music commissioner from beautiful island, 68 square miles of natural beauty. Sugar City, St. Kitts. I hail from the area, the Mecca, we call it, the Mecca of St. Kitts. And that's, of course, McKnight. Of course, so I was born and raised in St. Kitts. Grew up in McKnight, attended Awishong Primary School, Basse Junior High School, and Basse Senior High School. And that's it for my education background.
Right. And Darren, I don't know if you know that Basse Senior High School is still, right now, the what you call it, the champion that just became Miss Talented Teen. She won that at the Basse High School. So, they're still down there in the champion, really making things happen down here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes. So, I mean, it's an honor. First, I must say it. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here on your program tonight, being able to link from the Virgin Islands to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis and beyond, because we know that a lot of people um, throughout the mainland and also other places around the world is in tuned into Win FM and
Mm-hmm.
your program.
Right.
And also other places around the world. Yeah. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, so
so Darwin, I just realized that someone told me that King Ayatollah, what is he to you?
oh, so when it comes to before we go with Ayatollah,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to my involvement in entertainment, I can say that I was born into a family filled with entertainers, and sports stalwarts. People know of Ayatollah, but before Ayatollah, we had Bart Towin, another avid Calypsonian back in the 70s and 80s until he passed on. My uncle, Gerard P.J. Brown, who sang in Elimat and the Jazz Brass for a numerous amount of years. Everybody knew him with a hit song, No Sharon, Soca Feeling, all those songs. Had another uncle that sang keyboard.
So Kibo
Um,
and PJ, I think I get them
yeah,
mixed. Are they
yeah,
brothers?
yeah, those are my uncles, the brothers.
Oh wow.
Yes. And then,
Someone, sorry to cut you off. Someone wants to know if PJ is still alive.
yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes,
Okay.
he is.
All right.
Um, a matter of fact, the last time he was in sync, it was in 2018 when Uncle Kibo passed, because me and him were there for that funeral.
Oh wow.
Um, then so I'm going because I'm the junior one, so I'm going with everybody ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move into King Ayatollah. His soul continue to rest.
Yes.
My old,
That's my classmate, right?
yeah.
Yes.
So that's my older brother, and that is who I'm not afraid to say I picked up the thought of singing calypso.
Wow.
And after that, I had a next brother who was before me, Sean. He played for many years in the band Violators, changed to Vio International. He also, before he left St. Kitts, he sang calypso and won the title at the Basse Junior High School. That's when, the different schools used to have their calypso competitions and stuff. And of course, I followed in his footsteps. There are some mention of some other family members out of Nevis who are related to us, who are also in the calypso field. So for me, um, I was always in love with music. I would run away from home to go to dances. I'm not afraid to say people might say I was forced right, but being forced right helped
You
me
you was
along the
you
way.
was you was good for swipe.
You know me, I never used to hang with anybody my
No.
age that much because
You're the
we
kind of
never used
forward. You was forward with it too.
the mouth. Yeah, it's little magnet of a man, the motherland, the gentleman that raised Mr. Nathan. So the apple and the mango can't fall too far from the tree.
From the tree, right?
And
But
so getting into the music industry as an entertainment, as much as I was prohibited from doing so. I even got licks for doing it. I was sometimes I'm singing in competitions and Mr. Nathan don't know because I would run away, you know. But I so was in love with the stage and performing. There was not taking anything from it, but there was setbacks in me want to be involved in show business. There were setbacks from an education standpoint because then I start to concentrate on entertainment and the other accolades, what you would say, I would call it, that came with entertainment.
wow,
So
Darren, that says a lot about you. And I must tell everyone out there how I get to know Darren. Darren, you was always, I would say, a leader and someone. You was extremely handsome for such a young man and kind of forthright, but in a good way. And
Ah,
you was actually, it was all about the ladies. And when I said that, meaning you was connected with women, and
you
I like that. You
know
know,
I'm being a bunch of man.
huh?
You know I'm being a bunch of man. I learn I learn a lot of things when it comes to life from women. Um, there were times when I feel like giving up, and I can say straight up, giving up on education,
Oh yes, tell me about
something,
it.
and it's always the women would encourage me not to do so. You yourself played an intricate role in doing that. I remember that day I caught a bus and I came up to St. Peter's and you were in your shop. And I
Yes.
told you I can't take the pressure anymore. It's too much. You know, living in my community, um, the family is away, half the family is here. My brothers are getting in trouble. People are teasing me about it, saying that I'm going to go into the same footsteps as them, as me trying to get into entertainment. The gentleman that was raising me, he was now bedridden. And so it was a lot of pressure on me as a young person.
Yes.
And, you know, I just wanted to quit, and people like yourself and Marlene Liebert and her daughter Sharima, and Kimai and Avery Dickinson, these are some of the people that were were there for me. And even when it's time for my school leaving exam, I can remember Avery Dickinson. I don't know how she found out the information that I couldn't afford to pay for my school leaving exam.
Yes.
And she met me down on the football field down to the garden. She said, I need to talk to you. And she was like, you going to remember? She said, you remember you're done in trouble already. And she said, you are going to go and sit your CXC subject. Don't worry about payment. We are going to take care of it. And so I must say that I was a child who was raised by the village.
Yes, and as I said, what I recognize with you, right? And I'm so honored to actually be having this interview with you because I think it will have been in 1988 to 89 when you came up to Monkey Hill by my salon. And, I myself, I was just what, probably 21, 22, And I was like, no, you're too handsome. You're very intelligent. And apparently, because your mom used to really look out for you, but the stuff, your school uniform never come in time. And I said, Darren, I'm going to buy you your school uniform. You're going to go to school and you're going to finish. You can do this, Darren. And I remember, I think we went down to Fort Abrix and we got the stuff,
Yeah.
the uniform. But I don't know if you remember this, and I remember it like yesterday. What amazed me with you is you came back and you said, Lavi, I did it. I graduate. I was so happy for you. And, coming from McKnight, like you said, nothing wrong with McKnight. But
Nothing.
nothing. But you know how it is with
Yeah.
some of
We,
what they consider as inner cities or ghettos. We really don't have this here in St. Kitts and Nevis. I would just say that rural areas because a lot of us are maybe like financial, we did not born into money. And people, we never had that opportunity, that kind of opportunity for kids of today being able to go away maybe on scholarship. We definitely did not have that. And you are a product, of a village raising children as well. And for somebody like you, where you're at right now, I think you said you're a correction officer down there in St. Croix,
yes,
Virgin Islands as well.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That is very, very commendable.
Because no, no, because what I'm saying is this, is that growing up in McKnight and even hanging out in places like Newtown, because I used to frequent Newtown a lot. Manchester Avenue, East Street, um, down by Kayamba them side, I used to frequent Newtown. Um, I'm gonna tell you this. Growing up in McNair, we had the back and forth with police. You
Yes.
know, the different qualms we had with them. I could remember several situations that I was in. I could remember one time on Manchester Avenue, And I could remember his name. I could because he's from up your area, Mr. Dale
Oh,
Garden. He was a
yes.
police officer, and he was a bully, and he came across Manchester Avenue, and he was driving the camouflage military truck, and he came up on the sidewalk. I was right there by the Gumbs' Queen Babden premises, and he came up on the sidewalk, and all of us was there, and he could have knocked down one of us.
Wow.
And you know me, my mouth thing on a Sunday, I just want to open my mouth. And he came out the vehicle and he come up in my face and me back down and me and he hold on, And so I had this kind of like tension with law enforcement, especially with how they would come and break in our house when they're looking for my siblings, And sometimes they were targeting my siblings and wrong information. And even me, some of them had a plot like, yeah, you next and we're gonna catch you. Yeah, he went on the bench a couple times. But one time it was very serious. I had to get bailed out. Otherwise, that weekend, if I didn't get bailed that Friday afternoon, I would have been incarcerated with my 2 other siblings.
Wow. Yes.
And so I say Martin, Marlene Leibert, and Lindsey Grant are the ones who bailed me out that Friday afternoon, for that incident with a stolen vehicle. And Laverne, it was one of the toughest times in my life, because went in front of Judge Wade, and he decided that you and Mr. Nathan they just pass. So it was a lot. He was like, you are going to go back to school, and you are going to do your sexy subjects, and then you're going to come back for sentencing. Like, me fathers with this man. He serious? The man telling me I must go back to school. Listen, I was never so studious in my life. Me stop play, me study, study till 4 in the morning. And so when I went to court, he had no intentions of sending me to prison because he knew how everything happened. It was a stolen vehicle that I was driving. I had no acknowledgement that it was stolen. And I got into an accident. And after we got in the accident, I said, listen, the guy said, I did not rent this car, I stole it. I said, Lord, look for trouble. I said, okay, we're gonna drive, we're gonna find a place and we're gonna jump out the car and we're gonna run. And so we were going up College Street, got and we come back down, police behind us, come back down College Street, got across K Street, up Market Street, Saho, and got to the shortcut by the little bridge, pull up, jump out the car, I run, because it's 2 wheelers and back right. He run and he fell. And he went to the police station, and we would say, he rat on me. And they came to the basketball court, and they picked me up, and I got arrested.
The basketball court will be where? Is that up in Dorset or up in
No,
Victoria Road?
Court. We had a big basketball championship.
Yes, Victoria Road. Victoria Road.
I done do what I had to do, and I got and fit in the crowd like me ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't give the police the information, so Mr. Meredith and the traffic police Mother Bess, I don't know you right name, that's what her name is. Came for me.
I like this. I just love this.
And they got me out of the basketball court and I got arrested.
Yes.
The thing about it is that when the trial when the trial took place, I call him my organic dad, because we got biological dads. We got organic dads. What biological means. They're in lab and they don't be there for you.
Yes.
But my organic dad, that's who I see as a father to me. He left St. Croix and came to St. Kitts and decided it's time for me to come to St. Croix. And so I came to St. Kitts and came to the courthouse and told the judge, well, he's going back with me. Case done Friday, Sunday, I was on a plane.
Listen, Darren, I must honestly say I was happy when you was able to get out of St. Kitts, because you was always a go-getter, ambitious, very fun, happy, loving kind of person. And matter of fact, right now someone is messaging and say, this is a great show. They say no kind of politics and stuff like that. So I appreciate that person. That just
even before Laverne, before I go any further, because
yes.
I like to really give people kudos.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Burger, please. You're on the
Okay.
Real Talk with Lovely Lavish Lavi. Our special guest is none other than Burgle Stevens out there in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, and he is from, I'm going to say it exactly how he tell me, straight out of McKnight, Lavi. For the folks that are just in tune, if you cannot hear us for whatever reason, you can go on Facebook, and you could also go on YouTube at WINNMedia FM. I want to take the time out to tell each and every one of you, please, if you're listening, share the page, tell a friend. This is good stuff right here. Homegrown, grassroots, sharing their story. Go ahead.
Yeah, so after growing up in McKnight and I saw the resentment of people towards McKnight people, I said, I have to do something, to uplift myself. And I start to hang with some different people. I start to hang with some guys out of Border. You know what I'm saying? I must say, in my struggles in St. Kitts, I had people like Fitzalin Fulton. Fitzalin became good brethren. Richard Keynes, my cousin, Avalon. It was Bingo. It was just so much. William Hobart, Vaude Franks, Damian Pujad, Sharima Stevens. Without these people, coming around me as youngsters, I don't know where I would have been at. Pinky, Spotty. It's so much that these people we became cool. Some people would say that I was around them. Some people think that I was like some kind of bodyguard. No, no. I was seeking something else. And I remember in high school, we had a clan named the X Clan. And that was me, Positive, and which called Pinky, and some other guys, some up Rock, Dixie and stuff like that. And we were like, we stood up against the school in reference to having these assemblies with just these songs from the white folks, And we were saying like, why we can't have Bob Marley songs? And tomorrow is Bob Marley Earth Strong, eh? Why we can't have Bob Marley songs in our assemblies, their upliftment? Why we have to have these history books with one chapter of Martin Luther King or 3 pages and 50 pages about Nelson and all these other guys that had us in slavery and did nothing to impact our lives in a positive way. So these are the things that started to mold me in a sense. And then of course, I fell back into my ways. But I want to thank those guys, who gave me the opportunity to be around them, come to their house, introduce me to their family. I had a very good friend, female-wise. It's a very, very good friend, Tamisha. She was one that used to keep me inspired, and talk to me about, staying out of trouble and what's not.
There's a lot of Tamisha. Tamisha Fifield, which Tamisha?
No, well, Tamisha Fifield's sister, that's Tamisha Duport.
Oh, okay.
All we were cool, they had a shop in McKnight, and they used to tell our family, oh, stay away from him, he's trouble, these people have his trouble. And I did my part, Lavi, because struggling in a sense, in McKnight to a certain extent, I decided that I'm not going to be this way. I remember working in a garden for a lady, and this woman had me working every day after school from about 3 something until 6 minutes to 7, working in she garden, and must pay me meanwhile, maybe about $15 a week, And the kind of work I was putting down in the garden, I said, no, I can't do that. No, this is too much hard work. And she taking all the vegetables and fruit and going down to the market and making a lot of money off of me. This is slavery. And I got myself involved in some illegal activities, because it was about survival. And I'm not going to sit here today and say I am proud, but I was young. And as I said, Mr. Nathan was bedridden and then he passed on. And when you're looking for that love, sometimes you get the love from the streets and you think that it's true love, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of them seeing that you are vulnerable and they get close to you. Yeah, the money was good and what's not, but I saw my community being destroyed right in front of my eyes. Was me and a good friend. I don't want to really put his name into it.
Yes, yes.
But we did these illegal activities, and yes, it was lucrative for a little bit. But when I saw people who hold my hand and bring me across the road, and I had to harm them physically to get payment, and I was like, no, I can't do this. And so that's when I stopped with that, and I took the little money what I had, and I sent it away to my uncle in Boston and got some NBA basketball T-shirts. And I remember that's how I started to sell them. And by the time the police them catch on to what going on, I was done with that. So I did my thing to survive, man. And to anybody out there, any young man out there, I don't want people to, as I said, I work with the juvenile system. I never would have think I would have been a law enforcement officer. This is my 22nd year as a peace officer. I never would have think I would have gotten a job like this. But I took that job because I want to make a difference when it comes to the youth, because I know of the things that I did. I'm not afraid, and I share it with people. Laverne, I did a crazy thing as much as going on a Leak flight, okay, with illegal contraband. I did some stupid things, I
And
really did some
sometimes people they're young and we're dumb, and sometimes we do these things because of other influences, peer pressure, and as you said, hard life,
Yeah.
But the good thing is that is how you overcome. I don't want to cut you off, but there's some people been sending in some questions, and I just want to ask. Someone said they asked me to ask you about your career in St. Croix and what really inspired you to be a DJ as well. But you can actually continue with what you're doing, but just knowing that these are things that
Yeah,
people
so
are
they want me to
asking.
get into the entertainment part of it.
Yeah, but
Yes.
actually, I really, this is just good stuff. We need things like this to come on the air because we have so many.
I told you, and I don't know if an hour, if I'm going to open the book, I don't know if an hour is going to be enough.
No,
because-
and it's good. It's good actually because we want it to come back, because we don't want it to be too long either. But I'm just happy that I link with you because we need to hear men, because you are a man now and you're a father, you have your career and everything, and being able to share where you were and share your authentic, because a lot of people here acting like that's a holy and we just down in a
not
small
me.
hear me out quickly. We in the small environment, Bogle. And what we down here doing is just worshiping politicians. Anybody that just become politicians, these are our idols. And I feel that we need more than that. So continue.
Yeah, and so I remember when I came, and I'm gonna be straight up. When I came here to St. Croix, it wasn't a bed of roses for me, and that was because I created that, because I left from St. Kitts and I already was living in a house by myself in Macmed after Mr. Nathan died. I was living there without any supervision. I was my own man. You understand? So now I come down to St. Croix now and I have to come and live with my parents. And it was hard for me, and just couldn't adapt to it. And so I ended up, because of my disobedience, and wanting to be my own way, I ended up on the streets. You understand me? And going from place to place, sleeping from people couch to couch.
And as somebody is saying here, they're basically saying that you are showing, what you was. You're a product of the street, but you left the street behind and you began to be serving the people of the streets. And this is why people like you are in the position to be leaders and being able to actually be mentors and really help inspire others, because you had a story and you lived that story,
Yep. And so after going on the street now, of course, I end up living in a ghetto again, you know what I'm saying? But it was fun. Why is there? I linked up with a young man who I met in St. Kitts when he came there for vacation. My soul, rest in peace, Tyree. I linked up with him in an area called Williams Delight, then I used to be in Grove Place. And Harbor View also. And I got back into the stage business. But when I came down here, my accent. So at that time, people were only seeing me as a dancer because I could have, the dancing thing was in me.
Man, you could do
And
it. Man, you listen. You could do a lot of things, Bogle. That's why people gonna love
before,
you.
and so before I left St. Kitts, I went from singing calypso and I went into dancehall. And I remember how it started at high school, as a senior high school. After a sports day, it was me and Donovan, Masood Siddiqui, the soul rest in peace also. He
Yes.
imitated Shabba Ranks, I imitated Ninja Man, and we were doing that Sting Clash. And from that, I left Calypso alone and went into chanting. So when I come here, everybody see me as a dancer, and I had to let people know, hey, I could chant. I remember paying a promoter to go inside to the Bush Bantam concert, paying him to go in, go up on the stage, open the show, perform, come off, he give me back my money, and he paid me $100. He said, good job. And so from there, I went opening a lot of shows for, you name it, Barrington Levy, any show that come across here, I was an opening act. And I could remember in 1994, when Patrick came here and they were asking for guys to come on the stage. And the guys, them who were going up, but just not up to par. And the crowd started to just chant my name, Bogle, Bogle, Bogle. And I went up on the stage and I danced with Patrick and two other dancers. And from that opened the portal to Bogle, and so I keep opening shows. And then in 1995, Shocking Vibes School here, and an MC was not there. There was a no-show, this was an MC that I was watching opening the shows, Isaiah from Keon, he's from Keon, Rasa Isaiah. And Siga stepped to me, which was the promoter, and he said, you think you could MC this show? And that same day, Garnet said, I said, well, but the man is an opportunity. And I thought about it, I said, listen, promoters were giving us hard time as opening act to pay us. They wanted to pay us with tickets. And I wasn't in that. I buy an outfit, come on the stage and what's not. And so then, when I took the show and I MC, I said, in between when there are breaks, I could chant if I want to chant. And from then, from 1995, that's when I became an MC.
So
leaving the chant
right.
alone.
So Darren, basically what I'm listening and hearing, right? The fact that you basically had an imagination and you have talent and stuff like this, and I think that is what really helped you as a youth, because a lot of the boys of today they don't really have, or maybe pursuing the hobby or a talent. So what you think? What advice would you give to any youngster out there, or any parent that maybe have a unruly boy child?
Communication is key. Because we grew up in a time where parents had all the say and children didn't have nothing to. We couldn't say anything. We weren't listened to, And I think that caused some of the issues, the social issues, with us growing up as children. I'm not going to knock the discipline because discipline molds us, but I think that we need to communicate with our children more. Things are not the same. There are a lot of influences out there, negative influences. And so we have to remold ourselves like everything and communicate with our children. As long as they're doing something positive, try your best to be there for them. Support them. Don't give them no excuses. A lot of us only want to show up for our children when they're on the stage, when they're winning. But we don't want to help them win. And we must help them win. And when they lose, we must encourage them that they are still winners. We just got to be there and support them, and of course, to the youngsters, believe in yourself, because the amount of people try to shatter my hopes and dreams as a young man in St. Kitts, and even here when I moved here, and up to now, people are still attempting to, but you are your only competition, nobody else. And in whatever you do, when you're doing it, remember, this is your interview for your next job. So if you go to work today, hey, I got to perform today because I want to work tomorrow. So every time I touch a stage, that's an interview for my next job. I give it all, I put it out there, because this might be my last, but I'm going to make sure I put it out there so it will not be my last. You know what I'm saying? So you have
Yes.
to put it all out there. And you cannot study with naysayers because everybody in this world have a purpose. And their purpose is to be negative. But your purpose is to stay positive, self-motivated, humble, and be respectful.
It is 8:40. You're listening to the Real Talk with Lavi at Win FM 98.9 on Facebook and YouTube, Win Media, also Real Talk with Lavi. You're listening to our special guest, Darren Burgle Stevens, down there in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, and he basically is here sharing his, his story as a boy that developed into a man. Unfortunate. Give me one. Yes, Give me 1 second. Unfortunately, because of our time tonight, we still have another guest. We also have some giveaways, and I'm going to be asking Jamster. I mean, I feel like because we was robbed of our time last week. Yeah, I feel as if like we should get some more time. So I'm going to see if I can ask Jamster for some time. Matter of fact, I think I'm not going to ask him. I'm going to make it happen. Yes, because
Let me continue.
huh?
Let me continue.
Yes, of course. Yes, and the reason why I'm saying this because last week everybody was waiting for this show, and because we wasn't able to do this show, I feel in all fairness we having good stuff here. I'm seeing Gwyneth Brazier is on the thread. Good evening to you, Gwyneth. Also, Darren, Mr. C.G. Walwyn, the COP, ex-COP, down there in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. He's over there in Texas now, and he was a COP here in St. Kitts some years ago. He just want to let you know that he's listening. So do you know Mr. Walwyn, C.G. Walwyn?
Definitely, I know Mr. Walden. Yes, I do. We did some work together in having conversation in trying to deal with some situations with our troubled youth, and me and him networking really made a difference with, helping some of our youth here in the Virgin Islands and even in St. Kitts, because when I come to St. Kitts, I would go to the facility Horizons, and I'll have a talk with them because my cousin Colbert works over there. So I come to St. Kitts and I do a lot of stuff. I donate stuff to Irish Young School, but I'm not the type of person really who like to toot my hand too much or to get blows for that, but it's just me. I do everything from the heart, and because I just want to see good happen. We know that it's not going to be 100% perfect good, but I try my best as much as possible to see good things happen. My mother struggled hard with us. It was 8 of us, and may her soul.
By the way, I just got to let you know that a lot of your classmates, we have Vanny Griffin, she's on the line. We have Hugh Malalu. Good evening to you. I just want to let you guys know Sandra Roberts is on listening tonight. I really don't want to call names. I'm just so excited, Darwin, because we have just been. Sometimes you just see our men just being killed, murdered, in the street like it's nothing. So it's just a passion and just feel great to know that you're here tonight. And I'm going to keep in touch with you because I want you to, to come back. The people want you. And, some people even saying they would love to have people like you in the schools, let people be innovative, just like what you said, bring music and do other stuff to make children want to stay in school, especially our boy children and down here in the British part of the Caribbean.
Before you cut me off, Lavi, I'm going to say this because I do hope I can come back because there is so much I didn't
Of course.
touch on. My incident when I got shot, that will need the next half an hour to an hour, so I will leave that one alone because I know people wanted to hear about that.
Yes.
But I'm going to just say this. When it comes to the educating our people, that needs to be changed. We are individuals and none of us are the same. That's what they tell us. So then if you tell us none of us the same, why are you educating us in a barrel together? We have lost the opportunity, right, to get good mechanics because we're forcing them to be a doctor, And so that's what it is, because I remember when I was going to school, I'm going to tell you, Lavi, I don't know about algebra and not trigonometry. I did not go to class when they were teaching me algebra and trigonometry because I know what I wanted to do and where I was going in life, and it had nothing to do with A plus a let plus a number, because you teach me ABC and now you want to confuse me and mix a letter with a number, and I was not having it. Basic maths and what I wanted to do in life, and we need to start to get our children. And if a child is into tech stuff, that's the part we need to put them on with the basic English and math, and stop keeping them and forcing them to do other things that they don't want to do, and then they drop out of school and we lose them on the wayside. And that is what happened in yesteryear. And we will fail. The generation before us failed us, and we come and we fail the generation now, and it's continuing, and we must break that trend if we want to make a change in society.
Because parents want the children
They could,
to be parents want the children to be a doctor when the child wants to be a carpenter.
Exactly. They want the children to be what they want, what they wanted to be, what they feel at.
Yeah, and they should allow the child to, they should follow the child with his or her career path and enhance it the best they can. Yep.
Darren?
Yes, Laverne.
Oh, I thought you dropped out.
No, thank you, Mr. Evelyn, and good night to you. So
Good night.
good to hear from you and see you.
Darren, you know this is Dad, right?
Yes, he knows me very well. He used to be by Mr. Nathan's shop. He knows my disgusting stuff. He knows me very well.
Well, Darren, I also got to let you know that Commissioner C.J. Walwyn, he shared our page, and he said he shared it, let me see, down there in Texas. And he said that we gone straight to the ceiling. A lot of people are there listening. So it just shows that people want the authentic. And Darren, when I started doing this show, you know, I got a lot of fight down, but I'm strong. Because as you said, people are waiting for us, like, you know, to speak like somebody else. You know, they're looking for this perfect kind of delivery. And, you know, the people that are really being inspired is when you be yourself and they can relate to you. We are beauticians, and we should not be coming here trying to speak like somebody else. You know, the people want to hear real, you know, backyard, good stories, where you was, where you made it, where you came from, you know. And I'm just so happy, and I'm just loving the fact that you was able to go all the way back there, because we have so much more to bring from you. I definitely going to get some time. Before I continue, I got to let the folks know our next lineup for next week is none other than Ruckus H.E. He's of Grandmaster's Band. And the following week, we're going to be touching on journalism here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we have Jamie. She's one of our lineup. We have so many people that want to come on the Real Talk. People are getting accustomed and recognizing that this is so important. And I want to take the time out for persons out there that, you know, have your children, whether you're in sports, whatever you do, anything that can inspire our people. We need you here on Real Talk. Please reach out to WinFM 98.9, or you can, you know, get me on my Real Talk page on Facebook. And you can just, you know, tell someone else, put it on Facebook, share the page, because we're bringing real messages here. We also have to bring a program on diabetes as well. You know, there's so many things we have to touch on, and of course, we want to talk on the Contractors Association, you know, persons in in the construction field, you know, to educate the public out there and people that's going to bring the stories, because this is how we're going to survive as a people. Darren, we can't put everything up in the politicians' hands. We can't put everything just in somebody else and just keep on blaming. We have to be a part of the building, and I'm just so proud of you, Darren.
So I'm proud that you have this program, and I'm able to link with you also.
Mm-hmm.
And the list is so long, Florine, Possible, and the whole family circle team, all of those people.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much people that help me on the way up, man. It's so much people, and I'm very thankful. I'm grateful for it, because without them, I wouldn't have been here without the advice that they give to me, the little $5 here, the little $10 here to stay out of trouble. You know, don't go and see the drugstore and take out. Hey, you know, so I'm so thankful I'm here and able to share, and I hope one this time that when I come back to St. Kitts, that I'll be able to sit down live in studio.
Yes.
You know, because there's so much I haven't talked about, singing calypso in sync is really how it came about. My incident, I haven't talked about being a TV host for all these years, traveling, MCing. There's so much things that haven't
All right,
touched on.
so Burger, we have in Shower, Queen Shower. Queen Shower is out of Newtown. Calypso, where the party boat, the big boat that they have here in St. Kitts, Carleen Jeffords, that's Queen Shower mother. And she's saying that we need people from the bank, Lavi, and I need Burger back for part 2. Well, we're going to need more than part 2. We're going to need 3, 4, all the way up. Yes, I do. I really don't want to hustle you off, but yes, but I just got to let you know that there are other programs on Win FM that has to continue. I just got some message from the management, and they basically just let me know in advance to let the management know, so that way we don't have to be at least we know for sure that we have this time coming. Many people want more time in. And I would really like to do a lot of time, but, I'm still young into this too, and, we want to be able to bring a comfortable show, the nice 1 hour, nice and packed. And Flo, I want to say good evening to Flo. Everybody know Flo. It used to be Cable and Wireless, and it went to Scantel, and it went to Lime. It is now Flo. They are on board with the Real Talk with Lavi by giving us giveaways. I don't think we're going to have enough time tonight, but maybe I might get lucky and have just one caller before we leave, so they could probably get a gift from Flo. We have lots of gifts, and one of the gifts that Flo gave to us is a phone package, a 1 week, 7 days package, unlimited, 15 megabytes. So you don't want nothing that's better than that, and it is for free. So I'm just happy that these people are coming on board and recognizing the power of this grassroots, down-to-earth, homegrown, local show right here in St. Kitts and Nevis that is not just catering for our Kittitians, but also for our natives, that is out there in the diaspora. Darren, I'm going to ask you because it is now 8:52, so I'm going to, ask you to do your closing remarks, and definitely I have your number. We're going to, keep in touch and bring you back and see how we can continue this journey, okay?
Let me ask him a question.
Yes, hold on 1 second, Mr.
Darren,
Evelyn want to ask you a question.
Can you relate to Mr. Wilson with the pharmacy and Mr. Benjamin with the shop?
Mr. Wilson on Central Street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And which one of the Benjamins? Because there was Benjamin down to the new step, Miss Benjamin down by the steps, and then you had Benji them.
Yeah, the one in Central Night.
Yeah, the one
Central
in
Avenue, yeah.
Avenue. Well, the two of them was on Tibu Avenue.
Yeah.
Miss Benjamin for Hardy them was down by the new step, and then more centrally was Benji.
Yeah, Roland Father.
Yeah.
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 Big up yourself, Mac Knight. Mac Knight, the ghetto. Big up yourself.
Mr. Evelyn.
Yeah.
I can remember when Vi them were living on the corner by Central Street, and when they left, then you had the Thomases.
Yeah.
And then when they left, that's when they built Tony Butty. I remember all I had. Yeah, I mean, trust me.
So,
you could test me.
So Darren, hear this here. Mr. Evelyn just asked you something that really touched me deeply. He asked you if you know about Mr. Wilson. But guess what? I'm going to answer that for you now. Y'all think Lavi Gumbs only from Monkey Hill, eh? Well, Brown Bakery, those are my family. And also Mr. Wilson, his madam was my auntie.
Okay.
And I remember back, maybe that's why I'm the way how I am. Burgle, and to everyone that is out there listening, traditional, nothing beat that traditional upbringing. Because when I had to go by Mr. Wilson, this man used to dress in his this chop thing. What do you call those? The suspenders, braces.
Suspenders, yeah.
And he like a real English man.
Yeah,
and his tie and everything. And this man was a pharmacist. And when you go there, he is well attired. And Burgle, let me tell you this. Me used to vex to tell you, but I used to get my money, eh? I used to vex because when I go there, my aunt used to say, mind you, I'm in there good enough. he come up upstairs. Oh, go and tell the gentleman, say good afternoon. So he met me. Them time me just 10 years old, and I'm like, why you have to tell him good afternoon? He come and he met me.
Principal.
And he came in, right? And he will have his head, good morning, madam. And I'm like, I have to get up and, yes, sir, and whatever. But, come to think about it, right? That gave me the class and the awareness and the respect when it comes to elders, Maybe back then, in my mind, I never liked certain things, but if it's one thing, when my mother sent me down Mac night by my family, I gonna get money. And I'm just saying this in a sense, meaning they reward you back then. You understand? So we was able to have monies in our hands. And I think that is what basically have a lot of these youths astray. They don't know the value of money, and we don't basically reward them with money. We just want them to do this and expect them to do so much. The uncles, aunties, you go down the street and you see a child and you give them a little money.
Yeah, the principle. The principle is what matters most of it at this point in time. And it's very interesting that you can reflect on those days because they helped shape our lives.
Yes.
Manners, principle. You couldn't pass Mr. Wilson and don't say anything. You had to say, good morning, Mr. Wilson. Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. You couldn't go in the pharmacy barefoot and that kind of stuff. You had to be well clad. And you couldn't go in there and ask for anything. You have to be precise exactly what you want.
Correct. And even while we're speaking about this, even Mr. Brown up there in Birdwalk, I remember when you had City Drugstore and you go in and you could really ask the pharmacist a question. Sometimes you go in now, they have the face up, you can't even ask them a question. And I feel like people need to recognize the importance of that compassion, empathy, customer service is very important.
Customer service is the key. Yeah.
So, Virgo, both of us come from the ghetto. We come up with no money, and look at where we are today. We're going to work some magic, and we're going to make it happen. It is 8:56. You have any more questions for Virgo?
No.
Definitely. I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity and the management of staff of Win FM for also granting me the opportunity. They have granted it before. I was on the Bush Tea show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Island Tea?
Island Bush Tea, yeah. That's the time when I ran for political office.
Who was the host at the time? Was it
Azim?
Azim?
Yeah, and
okay. Okay,
yeah.
Azim and Jade.
Yeah, and Jade.
Right.
And so I really am thankful for the opportunity to be on this platform to connect with my people back home in St. Kitts and also those living abroad and anybody else who's listening to this program. Opportunities like these are, I would say, rare because I'm usually the one on the other side doing interviews. So I'm very humble and thankful for this opportunity. And I want to say special good night to all of the people there in the Federation, from Mountain Lake, Newtown Village, wherever you're from. Definitely gotta say good night to Sage. I have a little daughter up there. Good night to her. The Millards, can't forget the Millards, Joan Millard.
Janelle. Joan and Janelle, yes.
Yes, Joycey and Mary Matthew. I guess it's so much people, Lavi, as they come, I just bring them in,
Yes.
Riley, who used to sell barbecue chicken, was to get my little change and I go up there. And so much people, I'm so thankful for you guys.
Don't forget Miss Herbert, Marby, and Sugar Cake.
No. I got all these people, so much people that raise us, and we just wish that we know it can't go back to how it used to.
Yeah.
It's difficult. But if we could just take a little inch, if we who were there that got raised by the community back then, it's our responsibility now to do that. In somehow. We know it's not easy, but even if you touch one life,
you touch a lot.
You can make a difference.
Yes.
Trust me when I tell you.
Yeah, reflection is the key. Reflection and going forward.
Mr. Evelyn, I'm gonna have to bring you to be my sidekick too, Darren, just before you go, I will say this, right? I grew up in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, similar to you. And if it's one thing I must say about the Virgin Islands, when I go to St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, the majority, it becomes like a hobby. You pass somebody and you're like, good morning, afternoon, good night. And we don't see this happening here. People just pass people straight. Sometimes you said hi. It's like, you know me? And I'm like, no, I don't know you. I'm just saying hi. You know?
So they're adapting the mentality up on the mainland. That is how it is on the mainland.
Well, in the South, even in the South, is in Charlotte, they greet you there, you know? So it's not even, I think that especially some of the metropolitan places, maybe like those fast places like Miami, New York, you know, people just pass you just like that because they're busy going about their business. But in small communities, smaller villages, you know, if we're going to take out that, that love, that family, what do you think, Mr. Evelyn?
Yes, it is important. It is important. Very important that you show that measure of respect to the person. You don't have to know them, but the common courtesy. Good morning, good afternoon, how are you? And that makes a difference because somebody could be going through a whole heap of trouble, and you're saying good morning, good afternoon, make a difference.
It makes a difference. Yeah. And sometimes they could be feeling down, and sometimes you could even see someone and you say, oh, how you look so nice. And you was like, oh my God, and I don't feel like that. But you make them feel better.
Of course.
You know, someone is saying, great show, Real Talk with Lavi, and listening over here in New Jersey from the village. So big up the village. And this is what the show is about. It's not about me. I am just here to present it, right? It's to connect our people. Because, Darren, you know, you're down there in St. Croix. And, you know, when you hear a small song or anything relating to our country, our culture, we feel so good.
Yeah, I have done my fair part, and when it comes to that, I have, I was still involved in promotion, not as much, but I brought entertainers from St. Kitts here. I was one of the first to bring Sister Sensia here. I brought Infamous here. I played roles in working close with promoters in bringing new vibes here, Small Axe, Collision, Akai. The only band I'm having problems with in getting them to sing to make Grandmaster. Well, what a headache. From 1998, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, Mr. Lucas is going to be here next week, so I'm going to talk to you off air, and we could probably talk, maybe find out some details. But as I said, this is what this show is about. So I'm going to let you wrap up in a nutshell. It is 2 minutes after 9. We already gone over. And I know the management probably going to get me. So it was a pleasure having you here, Darren. So you can give your last and your final remarks, and definitely we will bring you back.
Darren, you have to talk about Benders next time, okay?
That's my people, then.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
But it's 2 minutes after 9 o'clock, so we're going to ask you to wrap it up.
Definitely. Thank you for having me here. I know that there are some people also here in the Virgin Islands, family members and friends and well-wishers are also watching. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on this program. And I do hope that Jah will spare our lives, that we will be able to do this again sometime in the near future. I really full joy and appreciate love the opportunity here tonight. So thank you again. May Jah guide and protect each and every one, and continue to have a productive week.
Thank you, you too, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Folks, unfortunately, we're going to be leaving in a few minutes. And we're going to definitely, I'm so happy that Mr. Evelyn, now that I know that he have other talents. But that's perfect, yes. Yes. So thank you, folks. Hey, we have great news. So we're going to have... we're going to go all the way down to another half an hour. Yeah, so, Mr. Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
We are blessed to have the half an hour. This was something that was supposed to happen when it was a week before.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, where we had some misunderstanding with the timing. You came in the morning instead of the evening. But nevertheless, Real Talk is here. It's a show basically for our people. And I just got to let folks out there know that Flo We have a gift if someone want to call in and make it short. And I'm going to give them, I just want to give away this thing. Anyone that calls in. You think we should just give them the call in? You have anything to?
Let them call. You have a question?
I just wanted to make it easy for them. I just think that they just deserve it. So I'm going to call. This is what I'm going to do. Anyone that want to call in on this program tonight, and all you have to do is to share something positive in 2 minutes. And you will get a great package from Flo. And this is how easy it is. You don't have to come to the radio station for the gift. All you have to do is give me your number. You can give it to me off air, and we will set up everything so you will have your phone activated. And I like that because, maybe somebody could be sick. They could probably be in the hospital or whatever. They might be having issues in getting it connected. And the great management from Flo, all they ask for you is to give your phone number, and you will be getting 7 days. It's a 7-day plan,
Yeah.
Mr. Evelyn. Mm-hmm. You can't want nothing better than that.
That is good.
Right. But in the meantime, I got to tell everyone, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We're going to now continue, and we're going to go straight into construction here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Is very short, and I'm going to just let Mr. Evelyn take over right now.
Good evening, folks. It's good to be here this evening to impart some construction knowledge as to how we go about having constructions. You asked me the question.
So Mr. Evelyn, one of the things that a lot of people are facing here in St. Kitts, you have a lot of contractors that have a contractor license, and many persons are saying that most of them, they seem like they lack the knowledge in terms of being a professional contractor, right? They might know what they're doing, but in terms of understanding maybe how to read the plan, how to even do proper invoices. So a lot of them are doing like subcontractors. But what I want to ask you, is that legal to have someone have a contractor license? I'm just asking, a contractor license and not being certified, not having a certification in construction?
It's a two-pronged situation.
Yes.
First, to obtain a business license for construction, you ought to be approved by the Contractor Association. The Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, rather. There was an agreement with the Ministry of Finance and the Contractor Association, because the Ministry of Finance do not know the risk that is involved in construction. And so they pass the risk onto the association. The association now will have to certify that Lavi is a proper person to do a particular construction. And if that is not the case, then you have problems. It's very important that people know exactly that the Contractor Association exists to assist homeowners, property managers, and such like, whether it's a small job or a big job. And you must know the person who you are entrusting your project to.
So how would people be able to contact the Contractor Association? Do you have a phone number? Do you have an email?
Yeah, you can use 767-4825.
Could you repeat it again?
767-4825.
That's 767-4825.
We're located at an industrial park.
You were located at where?
Industrial park. In the Evelyn's Group in Limited building. The office is in Evelyn's Group in Limited building.
Okay. Do you have complaints from person? Do homeowners call you guys and have any complaints? Or
Yes,
what are some of the complaints that they're likely to
do have complaints.
to give to you guys?
With persons who they engage to do a particular work.
What are some of the main complaints?
Uncompleted work and not proper finish, and such of those. And then you have issues with the client and the contractor, and it involves arbitration and that kind of stuff. And most of the time, those things can be avoided by simply engaging the service of a project manager. A project manager is there to protect the client at all levels.
Mm-hmm.
And with a project manager, you are assured that every step of the project will go according to plan, specification, and such.
Wow. So do you guys give this information to the bank, or is it required for you guys to give this information for the bank, or is it required for banks to have this kind of
The banks can ask for
concern?
it. The banks can ask for it. The banks can ask for it, but most of the time people don't. And only when they have an issue or a problem, then they find the necessary option to have such.
Okay, one other question. So what are the requirements for the persons to get a contractor license?
There's a form that you need to fill.
So just to fill a form and that's it?
Fill the form, the number of questions that the form carries.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you fill the form must be it must be recommended by 2 persons in the industry who know that you can build a fowl house or you can build a palace.
So let me ask a question. So I get that they're going to fill a form, but is it a quiz? Do they have to answer questions?
No, the form have the various questions. How long you're in the industry? What kind of projects you have undertaken? Is it a labor contract
Mm-hmm.
or a material and labor contract? The owners, the contact number for the owners, so you can check with them to find out what it is and so forth.
So no
When-
kind of quiz or nothing?
No
that,
quiz, no. Just particular questions pertaining to the
Well,
project.
maybe you guys might want to add that, have a little general question, because asking, just having I'm just saying, right? Just having the questions and the answering that, right? But how are you going to give them a little test of knowledge?
From the survey.
Oh, from the survey?
The form will tell you exactly what it is. We have a data form.
Mm-hmm.
They ask you the question. Upon leaving school or college, who you work with first? As an apprentice carpenter or apprentice mason. How long you work with that person? And how long you move from that person, and what stage you move from apprentice to number 1 carpenter or number 2 carpenter, number 1 level, or level 2 or level 3, how long you stay with that person, and how, as you move, what were the various aspects of your achievement all the way up until you become what you want to be.
Well, I'm going to put it to you, right? that sounds very good. Anybody can lie. The place small. Somebody could have a friend, right? And they could say, well, you call and you back up. But how about maybe adding even like some general questions and put them on the spot so you're actually bringing them up to this time? It's just a thought.
Yeah, well, the thought is right. We do ask the question because sometimes they fail to fill the
No, that's what I want to hear.
requirement.
That's what I want to
So
hear.
ask the question because the one who doing the letter of approval must be certain that what he writes to the Ministry of Finance is correct, and that the risk taken is a good risk. Because should anything go wrong, they cannot go back to the Ministry of Finance. They go to the contractors association and say, well, you approve Lavi for this job, and Lavi is not adequate or capable to carry out this job. So the risk is great, and we do all necessary background checks to make sure that you can do this particular job. And when that is happened, we give you a letter of approval to go to finance.
Okay, I like that. I really like it. I want to encourage persons out there, especially our locals, because if you don't have those kind of requirements, when you have certain jobs and project, you cannot go in and bid for that, right? Because you don't have the full qualifications.
Yep.
So maybe sometime when we're hearing that foreigners are coming in and have certain things, maybe sometime we have to look at our people. Maybe we need to be more certified in different areas.
Lavi, to tell you the truth,
Just asking.
it's important that we get our tradesmen certified. They have the experience,
No doubt.
but they have nothing to show.
Nothing to show.
That I am a level 4 carpenter or a level 5 mason. Nothing to show. And that is because of their lack of their interest.
Yes.
Because a few years ago, the Contractors Association with FND and CPEC and the Chamber organized some training for our local contractors. The topic was upgrading efficiency in the construction industry. And we catered for everybody at all levels. But unfortunately, our tradesmen did not take up the opportunity. When CSME came, and the foreigners came from Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, and Guyana with their papers, the minister signed off on the thing that they come to the country, and they must be allowed 6 months in the country. Within the 6 months, they have house, they have land, they have wife, they have children.
Wow.
They have motor cars and that kind of thing. Our locals don't have that.
Yes.
And the locals are wondering why. But it's not because of the opportunity not given to them, but they did not use the opportunity to get themselves up to speed.
I also want to add, and I agree with that, right? But do we have enough data, right? I'm just asking general question. You don't have to, But do we have enough data here set up? Because anybody can come from any country and say that they have these things. How are we going to know their database to know that they're really qualified or have this certification?
Ministry,
Is
the Ministry of International Trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it goes, yeah.
So that will be database, like on the website and stuff like that?
I would think so, yeah. Because it goes to them, it goes to trade, and trade will verify that this certificate is good.
Mr. Evelyn, we're going definitely, because with what you're saying, it's not just for contractors, but even for like hairdressers, apprentices here, persons in the skill department. I don't think that people recognize the most important thing. You're not a professional if you're not certified, if you don't have a paper to show. A lot of people are going to YouTube, right? And I could tell you this, that YouTube can only show you so much. Because I can go on and show something on YouTube. Let me use, for example, my different hair types, right? Somebody will message me and say, Lavi, you could do this? And I'm looking at it. I don't even know if what is showing me, if the person here is real. So we have to be very careful what we're looking at on YouTube. It is good to look at some of them, right? But YouTube does not make you certified, right? So you're not, if you're out there and you're apprentice, if you're a barber, a hairdresser, or whatever profession, and you're not certified in it, you're not a professional. You might be good, but you're not a professional, technically.
You need to get the training done.
You need to get the training done and some papers
and
get
certified.
Get certified and licensed.
Yeah.
Right? It goes hand in hand. Yeah. And I remember when I started doing hair, I actually went to cosmetology school. So I was never an apprentice. And I think that we're privileged down here in the Caribbean, or certain parts of the Caribbean, especially St. Kitts, where you can just be, as they said, an entrepreneur, or call yourself a business person without any legal documentation. You cannot do that in the Virgin Islands. You can, but you got to be hiding, right? But I think that because of the freeway of just anybody who say monkey see, monkey do, but I think that they're getting complacent and they're not going to get certified. So what is happening, people are coming in our country, and some of them are coming in either certified or they're coming with a paper saying they're certified. A lot of these things, we don't have any boards of, say, cosmetology, and we don't have boards in certain things. And I really feel that government gonna really have to find ways and start to make sure that they get some database, to protect our locals and basically implement these things. It's not gonna happen overnight, but I think it's a need.
Yes, it is a need. It is a need, but there are things in place to correct these systems. But for the construction industry, I must tell you, it's a noble industry. And it's an industry that everybody wants to jump into it, which ought not to be. Now, I cannot go into the legal field unless I went to law school
Yes.
and have my credentials. I cannot go into the medical field unless I went to medical school and have my credentials. But everybody want to jump into construction.
Tell me
as
about
As
it.
they say, monkey do monkey, see
Monkeys,
monkey do.
yes.
And it ought not to be so.
Yes.
And our people need to know exactly who is a carpenter and who is a mason, who is a fly-by-night. Let me say, Hurricane Hugo has taught us a lesson because we adopted the St. Thomas system by not using lats with proper nails and that kind of stuff. Hurricane Hugo ripped up all the bad shortcuts that were done in the construction industry. We had a lot of fly-by-nights, so-called contractors, fixing back people, roof especially. And then Hurricane George came after and took up what Hurricane Hugo did and did worse on it.
Wow.
And so it is important that for people in the construction industry know exactly what they're about to do.
Well, I'm a victim. There's a lot of other persons out there, a victim, where somebody told me about this particular person. And, you know, I really thought, because everybody's, oh, they go there. And where I dropped the ball, I never really investigate properly in terms of knowing that they have their certification, because I just see that they had a license. And I did not have the knowledge into that, you know. And this is the way how I would describe this person. I don't think that they are a professional. I feel that they're just a mason and they happen to get their license. So they might be good in running blocks, but they really don't know. And they don't have to know everything, but you can see where they're unprofessional in certain things. Even the way how they're writing up this stuff on paper, some of them can barely read. And I have to really, it's sad for me to say this, but some of them cannot even read. And if you're not very careful as to what kind of contractor you get in to do your job, they will rob you blind, and they're very dishonest. And they're coming after a lot of women too. So a lot of women are being targeted. Right now I'm doing a legal case with a particular person because I am going to get back my monies. You know, where 1 second where that person took the monies, they asked for the down payment, and I gave them the down payment, but they did not do the job for the down payment. They disappear. And I understand that this is something that they're accustomed of doing.
Oh. That is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But I must say that a homeowner, new homeowner or existing homeowners, you're going to do some repairs or addition to your building, and you have a particular builder in mind. Before you get into the final stage of it, do a background check on him. Call the association and ask, can you give me information about Lavi?
Yes.
And we will do the research and we'll let you know exactly what is what. It's unfortunate that these things happen. But in truth and in fact, nobody should get a license to do construction work unless it's been approved by the Contractor Association. People use shortcuts and try to get by and that kind of stuff. And so, but it is not proper. And then another thing come to mind. It's unfortunate, but I need to say it. Most of the persons in the industry do not or cannot do quantity estimating, because you find that a project is completed, a residential project is completed, and the owner is left with half a ton of steel on the job site, and such like, ought not to happen. You must be able to tell, you must be able to show exactly how many steel you want, what size, and that kind of stuff. Because construction cost is high, and it's getting higher every day.
Yes.
And you need to know exactly what is what. And one of the weaknesses that is in the industry is quantity estimating. It takes a lot of time, but you need to know exactly what is what. The baker must know how many ounces of baking powder and how many ounces of sugar he put in the flour to get a good tasting bread. And so in construction, there are no shortcuts. There should not be any shortcuts. And I would say that if you're planning to do your construction of whatever degree, big, small, medium, large, check with the Contractor Association first. The other thing is that a lot of people are posing as contractors. They are in truth not contractors.
Oh, they all tell me about it. They're not.
They are builders.
They're con artists. I'll say that. I say that.
They're builders, because there's a difference between a contractor and a builder. A contractor should be able to give you a turnkey operation. You say, this building costs $2 million. We sign the agreement, and you give me the drawings, I go and do the job. At the end of the job, I come to you with the key. This is the key for the building. You give me the check for the $2 million. There are other ways of doing it. You can be a contractor, but you have drawdowns, stages. As you complete stages, you get paid. But most people pose themselves as contractors, not realizing the risk that they are taking up.
Yes.
And so they are builders,
They're con artists.
but they don't like to carry the name builder. The people have to be known. Say, I'm a contractor.
They're not a builder, they're con artists. You're making it sound good. I'm talking about the dishonest one.
I know. And one bad apple spoil the whole bunch.
Correct.
You
It
know?
is 9:25, and we're here with Mr. Evelyn, and you're listening to Real Talk with Lavi. I'm going to ask you to wrap it up now, and look forward to bring you back. Everybody wants us to bring back these people. They say it's too short, but at least we're getting a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm happy to be part of the program for tonight, and I look forward to further discussion
Yes.
on the contractors, on the construction industry, because, like I said, it's a noble industry, and there are about some 30 to 40 aspects of career path in the construction industry.
Yes.
You can be a project manager, timekeeper. You can be anything you want in the construction industry. You don't have to be
The one that do the estimates. I was just listening to you, and I recognize that this is a wide field. The quantity.
It is a wide field.
Yes.
Quantity estimating is one of the key.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I can recall in times past, the bank asked us to teach our fellow contractors quantity estimating, because I know of cases where a person went to a particular builder, and he did the estimate for the building. And when he got to the first floor level, he was asking the owner for the rafters. And the owner said, "What rafters?" Another floor to go. He said, "Well, I didn't know that there was another floor to go."
Wow.
And so the person went to the bank 3 times to get funding, because then the bank is in a position to complete the project in order for the bank to get back the money. And then the person can say, "But Mr. Evelyn, you're the man I had in mind, you know, but somebody tell me you're expensive."
Yes.
I'm not expensive. I do quality work. I work for you as if I'm working for myself. I don't like to do one thing twice. So I do proper work.
But apart from expensive, I mean, you know, you can't want to have quality stuff for next to nothing.
Right, okay, good.
You know, they just say expensive too.
They have it.
But at the same time, they were like, "Oh, she good enough, but she expensive." But yet they want me now to be like the crumbs, you know?
So I would advise homeowners, property managers,
It is 9:28, so we just have
to be more abreast in your project. Engage the service of a project manager, and he must be one who knows what construction is all about. And if you're in doubt, call the Contractor Association to verify a particular builder who you choose to do your construction. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. Definitely, we're going to have to get some time to come back, because this is the honest way that the winners will come out as well. So thank you so much for being here. It's really a night that turned out to be, I never expect this, you know, but I started off kind of wacky, because it just happened to me. And I'm trying to wonder, well, how I'm going to do this, you know, but it turned out pretty good. You know, so I also got to let Burgle down there in the Virgin Islands and Kauai. Thank you so much for being here. The good folks out there that was in tune with us from the beginning to the end, those that have just joined. We are just, you know, about to come to the end of this program. And I just feel so happy to know that the word is getting out and people are recognizing that this show is to bring what is missing here in our society or federation, the real issues, the good stuff. Everything not going to be about, the bad and always bad stories, but it's all about learning, and just being able to bring a grassroots program where people can relate to and they can understand. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, everyone. I am Lavi Gumbs. Next week, join us for our next guest, which is Wukas, H.E., none other than the Happy Man, Grandmasters, and of course, everybody know, outside again, on the road again. Boom. Have a wonderful night.